Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yogena Shatapsya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaichakina Yopakaratam Pavaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjalir Anatosmi Abahu Prushakaram Shankachakratsidharinam Sahasrashir Samsvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om.
Okay, we're going to take Supta padangustasana, but I want you to set yourself up so that, for example, I have my right side near a wall. So when I take my right leg to the side, I adjust my distance so I can actually be supported and press my foot into the side wall. Okay, we'll have to flip around to do the left side. So get that distance first to the right, and then we'll begin with the right leg up. Get the side distance first. However low your leg goes, doesn't matter. You want to be able to press through the heel. So once you get that distance set up, take your right leg up with your strap or with the grip of your hand. Left leg is extended out on the floor as usual. Okay. The right leg is drawn down to the socket from the back thigh, inner thigh. The left leg is also drawn into the socket, even though you push out through the heel. Have enough grip, have enough strap, so the root of the right arm is below the collarbone, below the arm. Right shoulder blade is flush to the floor. Extend the right waist by pushing the hip away from the ribs a little, but keep the thigh internally rotated. All right, take your right leg to the wall, adjust a little bit as you need. Now the right leg is externally rotated and the left arm is a counter stretch. You don't really have to hold with a strap or your hand here. Both arms can be extended and crossed. Now the right thigh is externally rotated, but you want to keep tucking the right buttock under from top to bottom. And then the chest, adjust your torso so that you haven't rolled over to the outer right armpit. Come back so your left shoulder blade is also flush to the floor, as if you were in shavasana. As you receive the stretch, if you can lower the leg a little, feel free to do that. Right leg externally rotates, right buttock keeps tucking. Press into the wall. Check the length on the right side of the waist. Don't shorten that space. the right waist and left waist even, parallel. To come away from the wall, put your right hand behind your knee and bend your knee. Hold that. Okay. Then bring your right ankle across onto your left knee. Hold behind your left thigh. Keep the feet dorsiflexed. Open the collarbones again. You can loop a belt around the back of the thigh if you can't. Keep the shoulders open. A little more hip groin stretch. Draw the left thigh toward the abdomen. Keep a little bit of an untucking forward tilt of the pelvis. Get a nice stretch in the back of the right thigh and out of the hip. So have enough of a groin extension and pelvic tilt to keep a normal curve in your lumbar. Don't flatten it out. So even though you're drawing the left thigh in, you're not flattening out your lumbar. Keep that right inner thigh drawn down deep into that socket. Now extend your left leg. Keep the right ankle, both feet dorsiflexed. Recreate your normal lumbar curve. And bend the knee, lower the left foot, release the right foot to the floor. We'll roll to the side and switch now, so when you take the leg to the left, it will have the wall. So you measure that distance first. And then once you have that distance, hold the left foot with the belt or the hand and extend your right leg. Left shoulder, root of the arm should be down, lower than the collarbone. And lengthen the left waist. Push the hip a little bit away from the ribs so both sides are parallel. And take your left leg to the side. Find your wall. You don't have to hold with the belt or the hands. Let the wall do that for you. Adjust a little bit. Arms just extended out. The wrists about armpit height. Left thigh is now externally rotated. And you're tucking the left buttock under. So you have a normal lumbar curve. You're not flat. And again, the right ribs tend to poke out, left rib gets a little short. So extend the left waist, right ribs shift in a little bit, and adjust so you're flush on both shoulder blades. Push into the wall with the heel. Keep a little bit of that anterior untucked, keep the lumbar from flattening. Hold behind the knee, bend it, and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Hold behind the thigh with your hands or with the strap. Open the top chest again. Keep both feet dorsiflexed, extending through the heel. Wide feet or happy feet. Draw the right side toward your belly. Keep that inner left thigh deeply anchored in that socket. Untuck just enough to keep your lumbar curve. So you're not trying to push your left knee away. Let it receive it. And extend the right leg up. Straighten the leg. Recreate your lumbar curve. Nice tadasana, open throat and collarbone. And then relax that right leg, lower the feet. And stand, roll to the side, stand in tadasana. So feel your feet on the floor. Rock back on the heels. Extend from the ball mound out to the tips. And catch the front of the heel. So the flesh of the foot is not bunched up. As you root the heel, draw the outer and inner legs up. You don't have to push them backwards, just make them longer as they ascend. Relax the shoulders as you lengthen the spinal column from the tip of the tailbone to the base of the skull, inside. And the front body ascends internally from behind the pubic plates up to the top of the sternum. You don't try to push the spine inward. Take the arms out, externally rotate, take the arms up to hasta. Or urdhva namaskar, if you can do that without bending your elbows. Start again from the feet, the legs, pelvis neutral. Back thigh fibers ascending toward the sit bone and in toward the bone. Ascending front spine, tailbone to base of the skull. Ascending inner front body from behind the pubic plate through the top of the sternum. And release the arms down to the side. Step the legs wide into trikonasana to the right. So it's actually very similar to that pose where you were on your back when your right foot was to the wall. So press into the right heel and extend the inner arch, and then draw the leg up into the socket, both the outer leg and the inner leg. You don't want to push backward through your knee joints. And then it's called Utthita trikonasana, so it means extending triangle. Side body, waist ribs, moving away from the pelvic ribs, especially the lower side, the right side. Step out to ardha chandrasana, half moon. If you're having a wobbly day, feel free to take support with a wall or do freestanding, whatever you can do today. Lift the hip, lift off the arm and standing leg, energetically at least. Broad shoulder blades ironed onto the back ribs. Lengthen the side body to create stability. Gripping does not create stability. Extension creates stability, theoretically. And step back into trikonasana, gracefully. Do a nice trikonasana. Don't slop your way through it. And inhale, breath come up. Left leg out, right foot in. And take trikonasana to the left side. Hand can go to the shin, to the block, to the floor. So again, it's like that left foot pressing into the wall. Press the inner heel, extend the instep, draw the legs up into the sockets, and extend both sides of your torso. Careful not to push forward from your heart center. Lengthen the spine from the tailbone to the base of the skull, and the front body also lengthening from behind the pubic plate to the base of the throat. Utthita trikonasana, extending triangle. Inhaling, exhaling, step out and up to ardha chandrasana, half moon. From the left ankle to the left hip, ascend, but move the skin toward the bone. Lift off the left arm and leg energetically. Lift the upper hip and thigh as a unit off the standing leg as much as possible. Wide shoulder blades, but ironed onto the back ribs. Rotate the torso. Play the edge of falling over backwards. It's okay. And step back into Utthita trikonasana. Have a little respect for the posture. Don't flop your way through it. And inhale, breath. As you know, one of my teachers can be snarky. I'm not talking about Gabriel either. I'm talking about Ramanand. One time we were coming out of Ardha Chandrasana into Trikonasana, And he was talking about, not slopping your way through it. He said, what if you died right now? Well, if you think about it, it could happen. I mean, none of us know. I keep thinking there's a yoga posture that's, if I bend into the right position, I'm able to find my expiration date. Best if used by 2030. We'll see how that goes. All right. Patty's sitting down. I don't know why. Stand up again. What if you died right now? It happens to people, 1 minute you're there and the next minute you're not. Is that depressing? It can be. All right, virhabharasana 1. Take the arms up and step the legs wide, then pivot to the right for Vira 1. Wait there. Scoop the sit bones in and lift up out of the front groin, especially the back leg, and then sit down into Vira 1. Ascend from the left groin. The more you bend the left leg, the more you sit down, the more you have to ascend right where the inner thigh lifts up into the socket. Head back if you can. Okay, head neutral. Then turn into virhabharasana 2. Again, watch that back leg hip, that groin. Lift out of that inner thigh and groin. Have a sense of the right knee slightly turning the corner from the inner knee around to the outer knee. Move the skin of the inner kneecap toward the outer kneecap, around the curve. Can you stand with as much weight on both heels? Can you even that out? Usually there's more weight on the right heel. And inhale, breath come up. Feet forward, take the arms up again, and pivot, turn to your left side. Wait there. Scoop the sit bones under, lift off where the right inner thigh comes up into the socket, and maintain that lifting as you sit down with the left leg. Iyengar said this is an ascending pose, not a descending pose. So from the right heel, lift off the root of the right inner thigh, from that anchor, that way. Arms way back, and head back if you can. Floating ribs ascending. Then do all of that simultaneously with a sense of joyful curiosity. All right. And open into Vira 2. Find your heels. Lift off both groins, especially the back leg. Left inner knee turns around the corner a little bit. Torso stays centered. And inhale, come up, and step back to tadasana. One time in Pune, we held that pose so long I thought I was going to die. But I didn't die. Here we are. Okay, parsvotanasana. As long as we're not dead, let's do some more yoga. Okay. Paschimottanasana, or elbows behind, grabbing the arms behind the back. Parsvotanasana. Wait there. Open the collarbones. So before you start, from the grounding of your heels, draw the legs up. Do tadasana with your legs. After you when you receive that, then extend from that energy out over the right leg. Tadasana with the legs. It's not the name of a band. It's a dynamic action. Pull the right hip toward the left a little and turn your left thigh and hip. Bring your navel over the center thigh. Keep both sides of your waist long. If you can take the head down, that's fine. Not by pulling the chin to the throat, though. Make the front body longer. And release the arm grip, bring the fingertips to the floor, and turn into revolved triangle. If you need a block under that left hand, you can also put it on your shin. Widen the collarbones. Again, find the tadasana in the ascending lift of the legs. Lengthen both sides. Create more length on the left side before you try to turn more. Create space to turn. Head way back, AGC. And inhale, breath from up. Speaking of shaving, Annie, we're going to have to shave a few points off your presentation. All right. Parvritta to the left side. Either Paschima Namaskar, or if you do the grip behind the back, remember to always switch it so the odd arm is on top. Tadasana in the legs, drawing them up, and then extending out over the leg and taking the torso down. Lengthening it. Again, you're not pushing backward through your knee joints. From the inner knees, draw both inner thighs up. That's the anchor from which you extend the torso. Even if there's a sense of micro bending your knees, that's okie dokie. Pull the left hip to the right and turn your right thigh and hip, recharging the lift of the inner legs, inner knees to sockets. Take the hands to the floor. Take a few breaths. Come to concave spine and then turn into revolved triangle. Notice how the lower arm shoulder, that right shoulder now, tends to pull up. Pull the head of the humerus toward the armpit and take that right shoulder blade deep into the back ribs and turn. Create length before you try to turn. If your hand is on your hip, lift that elbow toward the ceiling. Head back just a tiny bit. And come up gracefully. All right, back to Tadasana. Take the legs slightly apart, go into uttanasana. Let's try an experiment. Grip the floor with your feet. Grip the floor with your toes and your feet. Try to lengthen your groins.
Impossible.
Now release the grip, lift the inner and outer arch, and connect the arches ascending to the extension of the groin. Yeah? The arches are, I have given you the clue. All right. Go to downward facing dog. The very famous Iyengar line. I have given you the clue. Everybody gets to do their initial little personalized dog pose wiggle as you get into the pose. Guess what the legs do in dog pose? Tadasana. As do the feet. The arms draw up into the sockets from the elbow to the outer armpit and hug into the socket at the same time. As you hug the arm to the socket, though, maintain the shoulder blades widening from the spine. Find the balance between those seemingly oppositional movements. Then lengthen from the armpit chest through the groins. This is much a movement of the mind in the space of the body. It's not isolated in a concept in your head. And then stay in the pose until you're happy. Okay, some of you are happy. Okay, all right, everybody come out of the pose. That might stay a while. That might take too long. All right, prasarita padotanasana. Wide stance, forward bend. Prasarita padotanasana. Asana. So just the way you felt, you connected the arches to the extending of the groin in uttanasana. Do the same in this posture. Go on ascending the inner thigh and groin as you walk the hands back and take the trunk and head down. Some of you are already down. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Recharge the arches of the feet. Breathe. And come back to... Now, wait, before you come to concave spine, keep your hands as far back as possible. If you need to walk them forward a little, okay. But see if you can even keep them in line with your feet when you come to concave spine. Those of you who have a little more mobility. Shoulders back off the ears. Now find the back bend. Now, coming out of this pose is just for mechanical stability. It's especially important to keep those inner thighs drawn up strong as you move the tailbone in to stand up. Then go back to tadasana. Wait there. Headstand. If you can, if you're not doing sirsasana, take either a standing forward bend or a sitting forward bend. Or use your headstander or your pelvic swing, whatever you got, at the wall if you need that. give you a clue. What did the leg, I won't give you the clue. Let's see, what did the legs do in headstand? Tadasana.
Tadasana.
Oh, I like your variation, Cecily. Very nice. That works for me, if it works for you. We're doing sirsasana mangala. Oh, actually, Christiana, you're not tilted. Your camera's tilted. I figured that out. At least I hope that's what's going on. Either that or you're having an earthquake. I'm not sure what's... Yeah, the camera's a little tilted. Okay. Yeah, good. So Cecily, keep that sense of the inner leg coming toward the socket, the knee coming very slightly inward, the hips compact, nice wide sacrum. Play with that a little. Just so you're not splaying outward from the knee joint. Okay, those of you who can stay with it, go to padotanasana legs, or stay with straight legs. Side body long, up, navel back. The feet are joined like a namaskar. They're joined very accurately and fully. Then if those of you who can take Upavista variation, take that, or re-extend the legs if you're not doing that version.
Let's see. Woo!
Outer hips compact. Gluteus medius. Okay, Patty, for extra credit, bring the feet to the floor and then go back up. Groin extension? You still got it. All right, everybody re-extend the legs and come down. Okay. Way too much praise, but other than that, you deserved it. Okay. There's one thing I learned. After cross-country skiing, don't stop doing Supta virasana. So, take Supta virasana, everybody. Especially if you fall down and thought you'd rip the ligaments of your knees to shreds, which fortunately did not happen. But it took me a day to be able to sit in virasana after that. I did a lot of utthita hasta on the ledge, in between putting firewood in the stove. All right, Supta virasana. So, when I'm on vacation, I do some Supta virasana out of necessity. Okay. Bring a little of that bhakti surrender into your Supta virasana. Come out of the pose, extend your legs. Supported back bend, viparita dandasana. In your chair, you're not taking viparita dandasana, take setubandha. add the arms at any time, those of you who do that. You recharge the legs. Next tadasana, legs. Doming the sternum like the outer curve of a rainbow. Doming the spine like the inner curve of that rainbow. So that curve doesn't have any sharp kinks in it. It's a seamless doming arc. Those of you who can, continue off the chair to the ground of the head. You can clasp the elbows, bring them to the floor, or bring the arms to head balance. But sharpen the inner shoulder blades down. If you need to, you can put your heels on the back rung of the chair, or on a bolster. Recreate the dome. Outer dome of the sternum, inner dome of the thoracic spine. And bring the arms up, get a little momentum, inhale, exhale, dome up. Dome up. Wait there, we are going to take the chair twist. Okay, sit close to the back of the chair, so when the right arm comes around, you can take hold of the chair as the left arm crosses. Spread the collarbones, take the left bicep back, lift from the floating rib on that left side. Now the hips are going to shift, so bring the right knee over the inner heel and keep it there. Root that inner heel as you lift. Create space to twist. Create length on both sides of the spine. Start from the lumbar in order to turn from the lumbar and the floating rib. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Use your obliques and twist your abdomen and then release the grip. Repeat that. Turn the head to look a little to the left. Lean a little towards your left sit bone as you twist, not your right. Release, turn forward, wait there. Okay, the arm comes around and holds. Now the left knee's going to shift out, so bring it over the inner heel. You could also put a block between the knees and squeeze, but it's the same dynamic. So take that inner left bicep back. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Go ahead and use your obliques, but then release the grip. Might be a little rebound. Repeat that a couple more times. As you twist, collarbones wide, triceps down. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Twist, collarbones wide, triceps down. Shift a little more toward that right hip as you twist from the left lumbar. Both sides of the spine ascend to twist. Notice which side you're shortening and adjust. And release and turn forward. And step out of that happy pose. Sarvangasana. Sarvangasana. halasana. And then roll out of halasana and take setubandha. Supported bridge. Shavasana. resting in the breath. Letting loose everywhere. refresh your mindfulness if you've drifted off. Dedicating the merit gathered through this practice to the happiness, welfare, and freedom for all beings everywhere. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnapurnam Gacchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamadevanashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Thanks everybody. Take care. Stay warm.
Thanks, William.
You're welcome.
Thank you, William.
Thanks, William. Beautiful class. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, William.
Thanks, William. Get well.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, William.
Stay warm, everybody.
Yeah, everybody's. There's Bernie.
Thank you
I
for
think that's